everyone, and welcome to the tutorial series where we answer business questions using SQL. We are using the Northwind database for this exercise, and we have already downloaded and loaded our database in Postgres, and we will be accessing it via pgadmin. The question that we are going to answer now is related to inventory management, and business wants us to flag products that are expensive but have low stock, and they want us to categorize it by risk level. The first step that we need to do here is to make sure that we understand the business requirement clearly. So we want products here, and the requirement here is that these products are expensive, and the expensive is identified by their price, which is over $50. The other thing which also needs to be highlighted is that they have low stock, and low stock is identified by the number of units that we have, and that responds to less than 20 units. Finally, we want this categorized by risk level. Now that we have an understanding of what we need to provide, let's have a look at from where can we extract this information. So let's head over to our pgadmin and access the database. We look at our Northwind database, and here we go to schemas to check out our tables and the corresponding columns there. If we look at our tables, we have a lot of tables which correspond to different elements in the database, like categories, customers, employees, order details, and so on and so forth. And we notice that here is a products table as well. And this looks relevant. So let's open it up and see which columns are there. We can see that there are 10 columns corresponding to product ID, product name, supplier ID, category ID. We also have quantity per unit, price, unit price, and this looks interesting because we are interested in the unit price. We are also interested in the stock quantity. So let's see if we have it there. And indeed, we have units in stock as well. So it means that the two items that we need for answering this query, answering this business request, is coming from our products table. Let's have a quick look at the products information that we have by viewing the first few rows. Here we can see we have the product ID, name, the unit price, units in stock, and so on and so forth. So we have now identified that in order to answer this question, the products table seems to be enough. Let's now write a query and start working on our requirement. You can open up the query tool, and we start writing the query. Let's start by the simplest thing. First, select everything from products and make sure that we are able to view this. So we start by typing select static from products. And it might be a good idea to call products as P, and this is an alias so that next time when we want to refer to the table products, we don't have to specify products as a whole name. Rather, we can only use the alias P here. Let's run this. And we see all the entries of our table. But we are not interested in all the entries. We are actually interested in product information only. But since we are also going to be talking about the price and the stock unit values, so let's print only these three values. So for this, we will be needing not static, which means not everything, rather, let's say just the product name. So we access it by specifying from tables product, identify the product name. Then the next one is unit price that we are interested in. So we specify P dot unit price. And the third thing that we are interested in is units in stock. Let's run this and see if we are able to execute the query correctly. So we run this and this looks okay. We have the product name, unit price, and units in stock. But remember, we don't want to see all the products. We only want to see the ones which are expensive and are in low stock. So let's talk about the expensive part first. And for that, we need to have a where clause. So we can specify where, and we specify a condition. We specify our condition on the basis of unit price, and the price should be more than 50, which is making it expensive. So we can specify that P dot unit price is greater than 50. If we run this, we can see that now we only see those products where the unit price is more than 50. But we don't stop here, we have another condition. And the other condition is that the units in stock should be less than 20 as well. So we specify after an and that P dot units in stock, that should be less than 20. And we run this and we have, oh wow, two products, but one of them literally has nothing in stock and the other one have 17 units. This brings us to the last element of our request, which is we want them categorized by risk level. Now we don't have anything like a risk level in our original data, but we can actually create a risk level on our own by looking at the units in stock. So here we can add some case values, and you can specify case by specifying them between case and end. And here you can specify different clauses. So for example, when your unit in stock is exactly equals to 0, this is really critical. So you can specify that when P dot units in stock is equal to 0, then this is critical. So just specify critical. The other case can be when the stock is between 1 and 5. So for example, if the stock is greater than equal to 1 and it is less than 5, you can also use the between clause and specify that when units in stock is between 1 and 5, then we can regard this as high risk. And you can continue specifying the cases based on your threshold of tolerance level for risk. So for example, we can have another one. If it is more than 6 and less than 10, then we call this as medium risk. And when it's somewhere in above 10, then we can call that as adequate. And let's just end it over here. Of course, you can have more when cases, but let's end it over here. So in this case, what will happen is that 0 stock element is absolutely critical. Anything where the stock is between 1 and 5, we regard that as high risk. Anything between 6 and 10 is medium risk. Anything above 10 is adequate. Let's run this. And here you can see that now an additional column is added, and it's called as case text, and it is regarded as critical when the value is 0. It is regarded as adequate when it is 17. I don't like the name here. Case doesn't make sense. So let's call it actually what we want to call it. And you can specify here an alias, for example, as risk level. So what it will do when I run this, it will name this column, this new column, as risk level. Now this is like really something which we need to be alarmed about, because we have something which is quite expensive, but it is not at all in stock. But before we do that, just notice that there is one more column here which is called as discontinued. And discontinued is telling us whether the product is still active or if it has been discontinued. So let's, before creating any alarm, let's check if this is one of the discontinued products or not. The simplest thing to do right now would be just check if it is discontinued or not. So let's just add this. I want to see the value of discontinued as well. We see that actually the Thüringer roast bratwurst is indeed a discontinued product. So now the alarm is gone. So we don't need to worry about a product which is actually discontinued, because of course it would not be in stock anymore, which means we need to update our where clause, and we can actually specify one more filtering criteria, which is that only include those products which are not discontinued. So we can do this by saying, either you can say it's not equals to 1, or you can say it's equal to 0, because if discontinued is 0, it means it's not discontinued, it's still active, and it's up to you how you want to include it in the formula. And now if I run this, then that alarming product is gone. And in this way, we can send this information to our business team and specify them the products that are expensive but have low stock, and these are now categorized according to their risk levels. So in this way, we have answered a complex business question using SQL. Stay tuned for more.